Trump promised to release the Epstein files, and Trump did not release the Epstein files. Is anyone truly surprised? No, not me. And you know how I knew that something is gonna happen? Because you see, not even a week ago, from the moment of this video being made, Trump was literally on stage, patting the back, handshaking, and saying the literal best words possible about the CEO of Pfizer. Yeah. Yeah, you're thinking exactly about the right Pfizer, by the way. And he was congratulating him on such a job well done, making money, just sacrificing American people, but making money. And a lot of people on the Epstein list, needless to say, are obviously people who are in charge of extremely big corporations in America. And if all of them just get released like that, that would crush the financial market of America, which Trump is not going to allow. So the chances that these lists, and that's not, by the way, even getting into the other stuff that I am conveniently going to let our friend here speak about, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
Holy shit, they actually just released the Epstein files. They just put them all online, unredacted, and now we have all the information. Not. What they decided to do instead is to have a private meeting with a bunch of very mainstream conservative influencers in the White House where they gave them all binders of the current first phase of disclosure. And now...
Yeah, so it's the first phase. Why? Oh, and now there's like reports that, oh no, don't worry, all of it is coming out tomorrow. Then why is this the first phase? Also, why are all of the people who have been given the binders some magically how tweeting out the exact same talking points about them? We literally got rid of, the left's propaganda media machine with the mainstream news, and we just literally replaced it with Twitter now paid shills for, the suppression of freedoms, truths, and news. This is great.
Boy, everything is going crazy. I'm going to try to not be super sassy and to actually give a balanced take on this one. First off, why is it not online?
And by the way, the fact that these people actually got this is so bad. There is no reason to not release this if they're going to release anything, just to the public as a whole. Instead, they are literally showing that if you persist in loyalty, if you are constantly on their side, you will get rewarded. Yeah, not good. Not that should scare you. That should scare you as a Trump supporter, because that is blatant media corruption.
In PDF format first right now already, so that everyone can look at the information and understand what's going on and everyone can dig in. I'm assuming that that is going to be happening today or tomorrow, and that this was just like, this wasn't an arranged meeting. These cameras were for a different thing, and they happened to catch these guys all walking out of the Oval Office, and so they kind of got ambushed by a bunch of media that was there for Keir Starmer. And so this was not supposed to be publicly sort of a thing right now, but it is. So a little bit of grace that maybe the PDFs are coming, maybe it is all going online, and that this is more of just a...
Maybe, but again, if it is, it's like, America's fucked. Because, again, if it's coming out, because who did they aim? They aimed people with power, and that is the CEOs of big companies. Like, the chance that Bill Gates is not on that list, almost zero. Bill Gates, a pretty big deal in, well, everything America. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. I hope they release the list, because that would be the 10 out of 10 move. But again, there is currently a very, very good shot that we get some kind of super redacted version, like what was previously known that, I mean, it was Stephen Hawking was on that list. Hawkins was on that list. And that was literally just done to take attention away from other things, because, I mean, everyone's obviously going to talk about the cripple who probably can't even fucking get it on, so, yeah.
formality, like
Plus, he's dead, so it's not like it matters that he honestly was dead.
a way of symbolizing that we want the new media involved in the case, which is a great look. Can't help but point out, though, that the new media that they chose, while some, there's a number of personalities here, like there's Scott Pressler, I notice. I'm not really familiar with this woman's work at all. I know that Jack Posobiec is involved. Then there's DC Drano and Chaya Rich, whatever her name is. These two. And those two are both super Zionist, pro-Israel folk, which is okay. You can believe that if you want to believe that, but probably not the best people to represent disclosure when one of the primary questions that everyone has is exactly how much involvement did Israel have in this, because we all know that Jeffrey Epstein was working for Israel. So we probably don't want a bunch of Israel apologists.
Oh no, this sounds like a conspiracy theory, YouTube, that I do not support, by the way.
The only copies of the documents that the public is getting. Like if you read through Chaya's page, it's literally just a whole bunch of Israeli Hasbara retweeted for your propaganda consumption. And if you don't know what Hasbara is, you should search Frank Lunt's Israel Project and you'll find the 2009 Global Language Dictionary, which was part of a massive propaganda campaign that they orchestrated in 08-09, and they had one of the absolute grandmasters of corporate propaganda write them a guide for how Israelis should represent themselves to the world so that they trick everyone into having the best possible opinion of bombing children. It's a crazy document. You will see, like, it will expose
what's currently
so much
happening
of the language around the Israeli position.
And I know, some people are gonna be out there saying, but those toddlers deserved sniper bullets. I mean, maybe, who knows? Not saying, I'm not implying anything.
Position in clear propaganda speak. When you search DC Drano's account for anything like Israel, it's a similar story. That being said, Posobiec's reporting on the Israel situation is a little more balanced. I'm not super familiar with his stances on it, but he seems, when you scroll his page and search for Israel, he seems to at least be reporting on both sides of the thing, not just reporting atrocities from one side, but atrocities from both sides. So the whole ordeal is
the hell was that?
Really bad look. And I think I've probably got more grace than most people in this world for it being a complicated thing, and it's going to take time to release the documents. They're not just in one place, in one box, that they can just put them all online.
Yeah, currently a big deal about this is the fact that there are supposedly, I don't know, New York FBI agents and shit like that. Maybe I'm misquoting there, but there's like a bunch of people withholding these files for some magic reason, and it is considered that these files also have been, deleted. Although, at least some of them.
They have to do investigations into finding all the documents that are scattered across these intelligence agencies. They have to vet them and make sure that that material has not been added to discredit them, subtracted to obscure them. It is complicated, and I understand that it will take time to release them all.
It should not be complicated unless the system was designed to do these things. There should be some kind of place where the original documents are in their fullest and everything. But, I mean, obviously that's not the case.
And I also understand that this is not the way that they wanted this situation to be covered in the press. They didn't want it to be exposed right away. They'd given out these binders, and maybe they are going to be releasing it all online and digital.
Why? These people, all who got the binders, are literally gleefully talking about this, and it looks so fucking strange.
Format for all of us in the coming days. That's damn well expected. But there are a few key takeaways that are just good for us all to absorb and understand. And one is that we need to be holding our government to account. Just because they say nice things does not mean they're going to do nice things. And we need to be paying attention and hold them to their word. Secondly, and far more subtly and importantly, is blackmail we all think of as being what you do when you get someone caught on video or recording doing something really bad that they wouldn't want released, and then you can blackmail them by telling them, do what I want, say what I want, or else I'm going to release this blackmail. But there is a far more important and subversive type of influence that is similar to blackmail that we all need to be aware of, because it happens on our side, to our heroes, to people in this industry, right in front of our eyes every day. See if you can catch it in this clip from Jack Posobiec.
The big pieces of this, and we didn't even realize that this was going to happen. I didn't realize this was going to happen. They didn't tell us beforehand. But A.G. Bondi, Pam Bondi, and congratulations to her, thanks to her, a hero, a patriot, a stalwart.
I actually don't know what he's talking about. The fact that he, the fact that he's like saying, "Oh, no one actually knew anything about this," is the fact that people forgive this.
To defend.
I don't know what's his point about this.
Of transparency, and by the way,
the transparency thing. Maybe that's it. There's no way you can actually catch that, because the transparency thing is a talking point. Again, this is all. The transparency thing is what all the people who got the folder pretty much tweeted out. It's like a copy-pasted thing of talking points. This is literally blatantly media propaganda, but not through the mainstream media.
Someone who puts the actual interests of victims first and foremost in everything that she does.
Oh, victims. No one cares about the victims, my dude. We care about the perpetrators.
As well as the well-being of the American people and those who have been affected by heinous crimes like that of Jeffrey Epstein.
Bro, no one gives a shit about the fact. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares about the goddamn victims? This is all about the perpetrators. I mean, seriously. I'm sorry to say this, but the victims, I don't care about their names, what happened. I just care about the people who did this. This is not about the victims in the slightest.
All right, a couple things. We're not putting Palestinian victims first, but let's not get into that right now. That's not the point. Did you notice the thing? It's very subtle.
I mean, Vitch, I know there's 3 in total.
One of the most powerful mechanisms of control in politics, not as strong as blackmail, but far more common and far easier to leverage, completely legal, is access. Access is the bread and butter of political deal making, especially when you're talking about the media. And it is access to the president, access to his cabinet that administrations have been leveraging in order to control the media for decades. And this is no different. And so you notice that...
Oh yeah, that's what I said at the start. Again, if you don't agree with that point, I'm sorry, but you have been gotten, my friend.
And Jack has a lot of very nice things to say about Pam Bondi. And I would have some great things to say about her too. I think that in my limited understanding of her career...
I mean, this is just the normal human manipulation thing. You always want to talk good about the other person, even if it's false or whatever. It's just basic stuff. People that you talk good about have a much harder time being negative, not giving you what you want. Okay? If you call someone a dick and a piece of shit, they're instantaneously going to be hostile. But if you're nice against them, for the average person, okay, someone who is not trained in this type of shit, it is really hard to be, bad against someone who's being nice to you. It is just, most people can't even pull it off normally.
And who she is, she seems pretty dope in a lot of regards. But remember that the guys and the girls getting access to this administration are hamstrung. Because if they were to truly report in an unbiased...
Yeah, they can't.
...way on this administration...
They're out.
...and to criticize this administration's flaws and to actually talk some shit when it's due, that access would probably not continue. Yep. And that is unfortunately just the nature of politicians and how they think, especially someone like Donald Trump. So remember...
I mean, it actually is worse than what he's saying here, because this is what has happened. there was an intentional erosion of the mainstream media trust, which is very justified in a lot of manners, honestly. But the erosion was put there because, you know, that's an easy label of an enemy, because they were already losing trust. And through Trump, there has been a huge propping up of alternative news sources that get a lot of shit wrong, by the way, but no one really gives a fuck about that because they're alternative and they're better than the corrupt ones. So a lot of people choose them, and, well, they have just been propped up to be the replacement of mainstream media in the same form of corruption. It is literally that. They were just propped up to replace.
Remember, whoever they're giving access to, you inherently cannot trust to report accurately on them. And until we see administrations and politicians in general shift this culture of access-only journalism back to what journalism is supposed to be, which is holding the powerful to account.
Oh, right. Trump also did one other thing recently. I think this was a day or two ago. So previously, who had access to the press briefing room of the White House was chosen by some kind of, I don't know what's it called, but it wasn't the White House. It was some kind of unified press thing. I don't know what it's called. But effectively that was obviously corrupt, and the White House replaced that with themselves now. So again, you're literally not getting rid of any corruption. None. They are still controlling who gets in.
And the powerful welcoming that accounting and transparency in, it's not exactly the most transparent administration in American history. That said, I'm staying optimistic.
Yeah, I mean, this video literally could come online and the files would maybe are actually released in a full capacity, which again, if it happens, that's wild. I would love that. But again, it probably won't happen because if that's fucking 2 phases, then why even call it phase 1? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's kind of pointless. Anyway, that was, who the hell are you again? Ian Coral. I should know his name because I have seen a lot of his stuff. I like it. He's actually very accurate on a lot of things that he says. In any case, 10 out of 10. Bye!